Hello guys and welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Once again I'm Greg and this is the Starting 11 show, of course midweek fixture here against Newcastle on the back of two bad results against decent sides to be fair, but we've made it look a damn sight easier than we necessarily should have done in terms of threat going forward. Our defence has been tested by teams that are more capable going forwards than, of course, we had Southampton and West Ham who've been struggling before that and have not succeeded under those tests. And we've also failed to really do much going forwards in either of those games. We haven't had a presence up front. We haven't had outballs. We haven't had a release from pressure even. We've invited, and we've not been able to hit teams on a counter or have any strategy for. It looks almost like we've set up and a 0-0 is the only option for how we'd get something out of those two games. You know, we just didn't look like there was any chance negating Iwobi's early goal against Man United, which came from their mistake. In terms of team news, Holgate returns and Gordon's back in the lineup or back for contention after his suspension's been served. Calvert-Lewin, in terms of his fitness, we've had a little bit more light on the fact that he's not maybe 100%. He's still doing the odd individual training session, and the cameo substitute appearances have reinforced that maybe he's not 100% fit yet. So my assumption here would be that he's not sort of starting fit, and I don't know if we'll see him start. Looking at the team, Pickford in goal, the back line, I don't think Holgate hurts it. I don't think he gets anywhere near it. So we'd still have Coleman at right back, of course, and I think it's highlighted how lucky we are that Patterson hit the ground running in these last few games, because the disparity in quality between Coleman, who can be targeted, and it seems that teams sort of start the press on us when, maybe not when Holgate gets the ball, but he's more of a liability in terms of having lost a yard of pace, either with a leg break or just with old age, and he's definitely being targeted in terms of running down that side of the pitch and trying to make things happen down our right side, our right flank. And to be honest, it screams a bad recruitment again to me. You know, we've got Patterson in, but there was no idea that he was going to be able to start this season and be a starting right back. So Coleman, Tarkowski and Cody again, of course. I dread to think what kind of trouble we'd be in at the moment if those two weren't there. What would we have with Godfrey, Holgate and Mina having been injured this whole time, you know. Mikalenko, of course, out left. And then the midfield looks pretty unchanged as well. You'd have Garner, Anana and Iwobi. I thought James Garner looked good in his little cameo, but too early to tell really. A sort of Anana-like cameo when he made that early appearance earlier this season, where he showed real signs of being able to create. Maybe looked a little weaker in terms of giving away the ball, but something where you go, okay, there were some flashes of something we can build on there as a player. Iwobi, much better in midfield than he was halfway through the last game, where he was deployed at wing back. I don't know why, you know, our best creative output in the midfield is then shifted to wing back. That didn't make much sense to me. Garner just looked a little shakier these last two games. Be interesting to see how that's reacted to in terms of his delegations and responsibilities. But anyway, it'll be those three, I imagine. I think McNeil will drop out of this front line for Gordon. He's been a bit of a, I hate to keep saying liability, but a bit of a liability as well. I mean, his defensive actions are pretty good from what I've been reading and the stats I've been looking at. Defensive action's been very good, but also been very sloppy and ill-creative on the ball. Maybe this is a hangover from his Burnley days. I don't want to pretend to properly understand Burnley's, wingers system inside out, but maybe he's more knowledgeable about the defensive side of the game as a winger, and just needs some proper coaching to bring out the talent he obviously has going forward. But I think McNeil probably drops for this one, and we see Gordon come back into the lineup. Demarai Gray obviously stays. I just wish he'd stop shooting from outside the box and cutting in, trying to replicate that goal against Arsenal, because he is not accurate. And then, of course, Maupai will lead the line again. I'm seeing far too many Solomon Rondon cameos this season, getting late into games. I don't want us to keep getting to that point. I struggle. I mean, the table's sort of levelling out, isn't it, at the moment? You're starting to see teams more where they should be, or the sort of media prediction would be. And Newcastle are still fighting around this higher area, which is a concern. I think our midfield's going to be in for a real battle here. But it'll be interesting to see what we do. Hopefully we can get something out of this and start to alleviate any pressure and take ourselves away from that relegation zone a little bit. So, Pickford, Coleman, Tarkowski, Cody Mikalenko, Anana, Garner and Iwobi. And then, of course, the front line of Gordon, Maupai and Gray. Do you think we have enough there? Should we still be looking to beat teams like Newcastle? How do you see them? Do you see them as our equals? Do you see them as a team that are above us and beyond now? Or do you need the investment to sink in a little while? Would you see anything different to the team? What do you make of Ghana? All these questions answer in the comments, and hopefully we got a little bit more of a positive spin to start next episode. Cheers, guys.